All right, you guys are checked in on the DSP on Dash Radio, and an artist I've been trying to get in contact with for a minute now. We've been playing his huge hit, That Guy, for the last couple of months. Jack Gray joins us. Bro, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me.
What's the year been like for you? You know, it's been a crazy year for all artists in different ways. Musically, where have you been at?
And it's been, yeah, totally. It's been a crazy year. There's like so many silver linings, to all the horrible things that have been happening. And yeah, but for me, I was living in LA when it all kind of went down, and my manager called me up and she was like, "Yeah, you should probably go spend some time with your family, just like for a couple of weeks, and till this all like blows over." So I was like, I got the next flight out, got home, and had like a suitcase. All of my stuff is like, in my bedroom back over there. And I came home for a couple of weeks. Like, probably not going to be heading back anytime soon. So I've like bought so many new things. So I've got like kind of like a life there and like a life here. And yeah, I've been making a bunch of music in my bedroom at home at my mum and dad's place in the sunny coast. And just doing a bunch of like online stuff like this, and Instagram performances, and like doing this little cover series where I'm just kind of like taking my favorite songs and mashing them together, and doing all these little things that are like have been, super, super fun, and like kind of expanding my mind outside of just working on my own stuff as well. So it's been great.
Your cover series, I saw you do the Juice World one and the Travis Scott one, both artists that, have that kind of dark underlining tone to it. Is that what kind of attracts you to the music you're listening to and the ones that you want to cover?
Totally. Like there's totally an element of that like draws me into those songs. But I've got a bunch that I've kind of recorded and haven't released yet. So we're going to roll them out over the next couple of months. But I love all music, man, all vibes, all different styles, all different sounds. And there's definitely more of a diverse range coming in soon. So, but yeah, those artists are incredible. And those songs, and I just had to, have a crack at them.
What's it like for you? You said you're living out in LA before COVID kind of hit and spending a lot of time out there recording music and creating. Does it inspire you being in LA? I lived there for 10 years, and the importance on music and the people out there that are so talented. Is that something for you that has helped your creativity?
Totally, bro. I lived there for about a year, and I loved every second of it. The level of talent there is just mind-blowing, and being in the rooms with all of these people, like just raising the bar. In saying that, the talent we have here in Australia at home is next to, none. It's crazy. And so, but being over there in these different environments, experiencing new cultures and all these different things, it was such a great learning curve, and definitely like influenced the hell out of my music. For sure.
Do you feel more pressure recording and being around artists in the States and being in the studio than you kind of did, I guess, growing up in Australia and creating music, or have you really fit into that scene well?
I think at the start it kind of messed with me a little bit, like the anxiety of it all, and it's quite a scary thing. But a few sessions in, you realize, we're all people, we're all trying to achieve the same thing, and I got a little better, a little bit more comfortable. And by the end of it, it was just like, I was just so pumped to get in the room with and meet new people, and especially being over there and like having all these different experiences and kind of living life a little bit and being uncomfortable. My friend actually said a really interesting thing the other day. He reckons we need to get comfortable at being uncomfortable because, so many great things happen from it. And you grow and you learn from things. And a lot of that was happening over there and being in those rooms. And yeah, it's sick.
You talk about being uncomfortable and finding that comfort in it. I guess, like you got to travel with Dean Lewis, UK, the States. Was that uncomfortable for you at first, or was it an easy kind of like transition for you?
Oh, dude, it was so uncomfortable, but at the same time, I had all the support in the world from my team, from Dean, from my family. So yeah, I was always on the phone, like, I'm freaking out, I'm about to go on stage, and this show's huge, and whatnot. But yeah, totally. The support, my family and friends, they keep me sane, they keep me grounded. So yeah, it was such a crazy experience, and especially because I've done quite a few tours with Dean, a few in Australia, a European one, a North American one, and at the start, it was kind of like tiny little club shows, like a tiny little platform with a few little spotlights. And then by the end of it, it was like these big, theaters like where you can't even see past the first row. And it was amazing to have like a front row seat at that journey to watch, his success unfold. And it was I learned so much from it, from like seeing how all of this hard work and the passion and what it can lead to. So
let's kind of have a look at and a chat about That Guy first, because that was the song that I heard from you that first kind of showed me like this guy gets it, like your music, your talent, how you write. How'd that song kind of come about for you, man?
A lot of my songs have so many different shapes and forms, and they go through so many different versions. And the very first version, I wrote it with my publisher / mentor, Robert Conley. We've done a lot of work together, and he kind of looked after me quite a lot. And we were in a room just kind of like, let's just write a song and see where it gets us. So we wrote the first version of That Guy, completely different verses, completely different sounds. Like there was 808 drums, 808 like traps, hats, and all that stuff. And I sat with the song for a little bit. I loved it, but then I realized a few things I wasn't obsessed with. So when I got back to Australia in COVID, I went through all my old demos and chose out the songs that had potential and parts I wanted to keep. And I had my dad's drum kit set up and my uncle's bass in the living room. And so like I kind of wanted to take a more like Red Hot Chili Peppers, like bandy take on the song, and rewrote the verses. Yeah. And it kind of formed, my mum and dad's place with my dad lingering around. I was like, what do you think about this beat? He's like, but don't do that, do this. And it was awesome. So I definitely had the family's influence on that one. And I loved it. And it was funny because I've got so many songs that I've written before that one that, haven't came out yet. It's funny how like you can like write a song today and then have that one be the one that comes out next, as opposed to like the 4 songs that are mixed and mastered and have been for months. So I just really love that one and I wanted to get it out.
So when you released this, and I heard it in another an interview that you had done, was that a song that when you got to finally release it to the world, you loved, or did you hate it as you were kind of dropping it?
It's always scary. I get really nervous when I release a song. I don't want to like, I don't know, let anyone down or anything like that. But I just, that's one of the songs that I'm very confident with, and I'll let it do its thing and be happy with whatever, with however many ears it reaches. But that's just a little personal favorite of mine, that one.
Yeah, you talk about that, and the fact that however many ears it reached. And for me, I think that song was one that, like I said before, kind of put you on my radar and went, all right, this is someone I need to be all around. Yet you kind of look at the numbers and compare to some of the other songs, and like, I think that's your best song that you've ever put out and the body of work that you have. Comparing that to the other songs, like, is there a point where you kind of like go, well, this song was more successful, or are you more kind of, I guess, focused on the success of like what the music is to you?
Totally. I try not to think about the numbers and how well something is received or whatever. I try and really like just focus on I just want to write music and make music that I love. And it's a journey. Like the stuff that has more numbers and stuff, I was in that headspace at one time, but I don't really write songs like that anymore, and it's always going to evolve, and you can't help that. And I just want to stay focused on writing songs that I love and that I think are dope, and just run with that. There's no other way. Otherwise, I'm just going to be looking at songs that I'm not really, vibing, and I'm the one that's going to live with it and perform it every day. So why shoot myself in the foot,
Facts. I love that. I love that about, the way you're thinking. You've got this new song out called Winter City, and you've drawn inspiration from Toronto, which, especially in the hip hop realm, you've got Drake, you've got The Weeknd, Tory Lanez, that have all created this amazing vibe around the six. What was it that, drew you into wanting to be inspired and use, Toronto as your muse, I guess, for this song?
Yeah. Well, this song was crazy because I wrote it obviously about a long distance relationship, and I mentioned a few cities, and Toronto was a key one because when I was on tour with Dean, the North American and Canadian tour, I'd only so as I was moving over to the States, the tour was soon after I first moved there, and I hadn't got my proper O1 visa yet. So our plan was on the Canadian leg of the show, you had to be outside of the country to get your visa approved. And so we're like, let's just kind of plan it. So when we get into Toronto, I can hand my passport into the embassy and they can approve it. And then, by the time the next show comes around, which is like 3 days, we'll be sweet. We'll have it back and we'll be good to go. But I got stuck there for like 2 weeks because they lost my passport or something happened. and I pretty much had to miss 3 shows, like the New York, Chicago, like a bunch of shows I was so excited to play. And I was just sitting in a hotel room by myself in Toronto for 2 weeks in like the middle of like a snowstorm. And so, you know, got a little bit in my head, and like I was missing shows and missing my family and friends and my girlfriend. And so, yeah, that really sparked this song for me, this one. So, yeah.
You know, I guess you're lucky that you had Dean Lewis along for the ride, you know, for a lot of it. Did you ever go to him with any of those things that were going through your mind and the insecurities or the feelings and kind of get his advice on it?
Totally, man. He's been through it all, you know. He you know, was where I am today, and he's a great talker, lovely dude. So whenever I was feeling something, whether it be anxious to go on stage for a show or I'm missing home, he always had like, you know, great wisdom for me, which is sick.
That's got to be like the best thing, to have someone kind of like by your side and be able to have those conversations, you know, along the way and go through it. You said that Fools is the song that you believe kind of like, I guess, represented Jack Gray music maybe a couple years or a year ago. Is that still the case, or have you kind of changed up that thought now?
Well, totally. I mean, I've evolved since then. I wouldn't say that song defines me anymore. At the time, for sure. Like, that was the song I wrote when I first started producing. And it was like the first song that I thought was actually kind of sick that I'd produced. And I was really pumped on it. I spent a lot of time on it. I had like 10 different versions of it. And so I finally, you know, I just went through so many things that I hated and loved about it, and finally got to this place where I was like, okay, that feels like me. And then obviously for that to be off the first EP and it do pretty well. And it's my favorite song out of that EP to perform live too. There was just a bunch of things that really I really resonated with on that song and at that point of time. But yeah, I've definitely evolved and grown since then, and onto new things and to different sounds and stuff like that. So yeah, but I'll always have a special place in my heart for that song.
Let's talk new things. Album talk, you know, I've heard you say sprinkle it in here and there. Is that the plan?
So that was a plan for a long time. And I was writing my first record the end of last year, then / January, February this year. But we, you know, plans change every three minutes in this industry, as I've learned. And I think for this next phase, my team and I came up with a really cool concept visually for like, and like it makes more sense to do it as an EP. So I feel like the next step for us is an EP with this whole creative thing, which I can't really speak too much on at the moment, but more to come on that. And then obviously after that, I'll have a bunch of songs ready for that for the first album. So yeah, that'll be sick. Man,
I can't wait to hear, you know, more music and the song Winter City at the moment is great. We're going to be giving it a home right here on the DSP. And anytime you need anything music, man, just know that we're here for you.
You're the best. My man, thank you. Thank you so much.
Nah, too easy. It's Jack Gray hanging out right here on the DSP for Dash Radio.
Thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate it.